सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay, so agnirmūrdhā cakṣuṣī, page number 57, PDF. So let's read the Bhaashyam beginning from this vāyuḥ prāṇah, which is where we left off. Vāyuḥ prāṇah yasya
vāyuḥ prāṇah yasya
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not able
Vāyuḥ prāṇah yasya.
Vāyuḥ prāṇah yasya.
I'm not able to hear anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear Guruji.
Yeah, Ramuji, go ahead.
Yasya prāṇah yasya yasya
hṛdayaṃ antahkaranam
hṛdayaṃ antahkaranam
viśvam samastam jagat
viśvam samastam jagat
asya yasya iti etat.
asya yasya iti etat.
Yeah. So we were looking at this mantra, agnirmūrdhā cakṣuṣī candrasūryau. So we saw that this mantra is describing the next stage in this srishti. What is the next stage? Means what? First stage is hiranyagarbha. So from panchabhutani, then hiranyagarbha, which is the samashti shukshma sharirabhimani. Then now we've got the samashti sthula sharirabhimani virat. Okay, virat is being described here. So now you can visualize a form, because now the first time there is a form. The first sharira which has a form is this virat. And so that virat is being described. We saw all that. So agnirmūrdhā. Agni means swargaha. Swargaha is the head of this virat. And then cakṣuṣī, candrasūryau. We understand that diśaḥ, śrotre, ears are all the dick. So dasha dick. Then vāgvivṛtāśca vedāḥ, the mouth of the virat is the vedāḥ, or the face also you can say. Then now vāyuḥ prāṇah. Alright, so now you understand. Vāyuḥ prāṇah yasya. Yasya. Yasya Virat Purushasya. The one whose prāṇah, whose pancha prāṇah. Prāṇah we can appreciate. This the physiological system. So that system for Virat will be what? Vāyuḥ. Vāyuḥ. The one that is circulating everywhere, that Vāyuḥ is a prāṇah. In Vishnu Sahasranama you will see what? Asura Anila you say. Asuhu Anilaha. Asuhu is prāṇah. Anilaha is Vāyuḥ. Same thing. So, that there is one mantra. Okay, it is the in Upanishad there is a asya mahato bhutasya nishvasitavyam yad rigvedo yadurvejo samaveda. Like that there is a atharvanaha, etc. There is a mantra. So nishvasitam etad. So that Ishvara's breath, there it says Ishvara's breath. Vedas came out like the breath of Ishvara. Means what? This aprayatnena, effortlessly the Vedas have come out. Like that the Brihat says. Yasya mahato bhutasya. Shankara says paramatmanaha. So yasya mahato bhutasya. Famous mantra it is. Nishvasitam. Nishvasitam means breath. Inhalation and exhalation. And so and so when it comes out, so Vayu, so it's all there. The entire Vedas are there in the Vayu. Vayu Tattvam. That is the traditional understanding. And so here, Vāyuḥ prāṇah. And yo brahmanam vidadhati purvam yo vai vedāḥ prahinoti sarvam tagum hadevam atma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. So this mumukshu is prarthana, it seems. So vedāgascha sarve. So that yo brahmanam vidadhati, that Ishvara, that Brahma which created Brahmaji. You know, Brahmaji is the Prathamaja, firstborn. Created Brahmaji and gave all the Vedas to Brahmaji. Yo brahmanam vidadhati purvam. Yo vai vedāgascha prahinoti tasmai. All the Vedas were given to Brahmaji. Go do your job. Like that. So, like if this Mundaka also started that way. Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambhabhuva. So, that Veda comes right in the beginning. Right in the beginning. And it is all pervasive. Like Vayu is all pervasive. That's the general understanding. Then mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. Tagumha devam atma buddhi prakasham. So that atma buddhi prakasham, that Brahma which created Brahma, okay, atma buddhi prakasham, it is there very much in my mind as Atma, illumining myself. And so mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. I the mumukshu surrender to that Paramatma. Like that there is a mantra in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Alright, 6.18. Shvetashvatara 6.18. If you want to look up later. And that is why we say our Vedas are not authored by anybody. It is not, it just suddenly came 2000 years ago, like some other scripture. Or suddenly came 1300 years ago, like some other scripture. Not like that. Not like that. It is there. It is there, and our rishis have the ability to receive it. To receive it. Like the television. Like your television. You turn on the television, the child will think, oh my God, inside this TV people are dancing. No, nobody is dancing inside the television. It's just picking up all the signals. It has the television means has that antenna that you have up there is picking up the signals. Like that, our rishis have picked up the signals. And so Swamiji says, Paramarthananda, Risivati iti rishihi. Those who know Sanskrit, Risivati iti rishihi. That's how you remember it. Anyway, that is that. So vāyuḥ prāṇah yasya. Next, hṛdayaṃ antakaranam vishvam samastam jagat. Okay, so now what about the heart? This Virat Purusha's heart, hṛdayaṃ. And so here, primary meaning of the word antakaranam. So literal meaning is what? Asya, the one whose heart is the entire Vishwam, Samastam Jagat, the entire world, which is all gross, solid gross, And so that must be the heart of Virat. Like that he says. And Shankara says, hṛdayaṃ means, let's take it as antakaranam. Antakaranam means mind. Mind, general mind, including buddhi and all. That antakaranam. And that we know already. So we know already that this heart is always there. Angushta matrah puruṣāṇtarātmā yo nihitam guhāyaṃ yo veda nihitam guhāyaṃ parame vyoman. So all this we've seen. The one who is guhāyaṃ nihitam, who is there hidden in the cave. Cave of what? Cave of the heart. Guhāyaṃ nihitam, in the buddhi, cave of the buddhi, which is there in the heart. That we saw, right? So the Brahman is there in the buddhi and the buddhi is there in the heart. That's how it was talked about. See, everywhere there is something called, like suppose eyes are there. Sense organ is right here. So if somebody asks, where are the sense organs located? Where are the eyes located? If somebody asks, we know exactly where it is located. It's located in this socket, this particular part of the skull, this upper part of the body, skull, where there is a cavity. Two cavities are there and there the eyes are located. That cavity is called golakam. Cavity is called golakam. That is a technical word. Golakam means a location, a place where something is there. Golakam. So Indriya Golakam means here, this particular cavity is the Golakam for the Chakshurindriyam. Like that, this particular, all this apparatus, this whole apparatus here is the Golakam for the ear. This ear lobe doesn't hear anything, by the way. Don't get confused. This ear lobe won't do any hearing. The hearing is going on inside. But these things are all required to direct all the sound waves properly and then goes inside. I saw a video of this, how the ear works. My God, it's just so amazing. All these vibrating things are there and then it just gets transferred from one place to another place. You look at it, I'm telling you, you can meditate on it for days. Really, I'm telling you, you see that video. I don't know, some context I saw it. And I saw it once, I saw it twice again. Thrice also I saw it because it was so fascinating. All very, very sensitive things. You look at it, I don't know how a human being cannot make such a thing. I mean, we make a lot of things also, which is also amazing. But, so, the Golakam. Idea is Golakam. So, what is the Golakam of the mind? If you say, Shastram will say, not the head. Golakam of the mind is heart. That is the tradition. That is the tradition. Keep that in mind. Why do you say all these things? Well, I don't say all these things, first of all. Shastram says it. Second, the heart. So our Ganesha, the elephant's head got chopped off. And then somebody put another head. But Ganesha was still surviving. So the heart is the most important thing for survival. And it's impossible to peer into the heart. So Atma's hiding place is what? Heart. So heart is the golakam. Therefore, hṛdayaṃ, Shankaracharya, antahkaranam. Like that he says. Na karmana, this one we saw it in Kaivalya. Na karmana na prajaya dhane na tyage naike amritatvama parena nakam nihitam guhayam vibhrajate etat yatayo vishanti nihitam guhayam. Same idea comes everywhere, on and on it goes on. So Taittiriya Upanishad, Shvetashvara Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, like this we have many. So primary meaning of the word heart, hṛdayam is heart. But here secondary meaning Shankara is taking antahkaranam. So that mind, the mind of Virat, the mind, the whole universe is the mind of Virat. Okay? That is how he is taking it. And then, now Shankara is actually, see, asya etat samastam jagat, we saw all that. Samastam jagat means entire world. Okay? Then, now Shankara is explaining his reasoning. Look at this. Did we read this? Yeah. We didn't read this, I think. Let's read it. Sarvam hi antahkarana vikaram eva jagat manasi eva sushupte pralaya darshanat jagarite api tataha eva agni vispullingavat vipratishthanat. Yeah. So now he's Shankaracharya is justifying why he said antahkaranam to hṛdayam. Okay, sarvam hi antahkaranam, antahkarana vikaram eva jagat. He is saying the entire world is but a modification of the mind. The entire world is but a modification of the mind. Like that he is saying. Means what? Now he is referring, world is a modification of the mind, means what? He is talking about the personal world of the person, of the human being. Means what? All of us have an idea of the world. We have a world that we encounter, that we deal with, that we respond to, that we offer our services to. And that world is whatever we think of, whatever is there in our head or mind, whatever. That is the world that we experience. So this is from a point of view of experience. So, in other words, I experience the world only when my mind exists. When my mind is awake. Mind is awake. That is why he says, Manasi eva sushupte pralaya darshanat. Sushupte means in sushupti avastha, when I am deep asleep, Manasi eva pralaya darshanat. We see that this entire universe that I know, my universe, okay, has resolved. Pralaya darshanat. That is his logic. Manasi eva. The entire world has gone into the mind. Mind also has gone into what? Into some kind of a sleep mode. Sleep mode. And and then it comes back. What comes back? The mind awakens. and the entire my personal world comes back. Okay, and that's his logic. And so, therefore, we have to say here, we have to be careful, because all this, the world is a product of the mind. If you say, hey, the world is existing, whether I am alive or dead, the world exists. Where is the question of my mind come into the picture? World is there very much. How can you say the world is created by my mind? World is projected by my mind. You can't say that. Objectively, you can't say that. My personal world, okay, that is acceptable. But the objective world that everybody is dealing with, everybody is seeing a world out there and they are encountering it. Even when I go to sleep, the world is very much there. People are going all over the world. People are alive doing things. How does that world get affected by my state of mind? It can't. Therefore, here, our Tikakara says you have to put eva, as if, as though. As though means what? Hey, it appears like that. My own personal world, this is true. These statements are true about my personal world. But that is from an experience perspective. Experientially, it is true. I project a world when I wake up, and then I resolve the world. When I sleep, I project a world, resolve the world. So that is correct. Therefore, eva, as though I am projecting the world. Okay, that is the idea here. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, we will end up into Buddhism. Buddhism, clean. They have no problem saying that you are just imagining things. We also say, we are imagining things, okay? We also say that. But the world is out there, objective. The world is not Ishvara, it's not Jiva Srishti. It is Ishvara Srishti out there. And so I am not imagining this objective world in front of me. It is there, I have to deal with it. I have to deal with what's out there. And so, that is, those things are by the way here. And so here, manasi eva sushupte pralaya darshanat. And so the conclusion is that the whole world is a mind of Virat. That's all he's going to say. That's all he's going to say. He's giving a clue, that's all. And so for Virat also, the mind, Virat, the whole world is a mind of Virat. Okay, that the conclusion of that argument. And then, look at this. Jagarite api tataha eva agni vispullingavat vipratishtanat. What happens if I wake up? Well, the world suddenly comes back, comes alive, and vispullingavat tataha eva. Tataha means from that manasi, from that mind which was sleeping eva, from there alone, this world, jagarite, once awake, once the mind is awake, okay, then the world comes back. Like what? Vispullingavat. Like the sparks from the flame, we saw that vispullingaha. Like the sparks from the flame, the world comes out. Like that he's saying. So, it's true from an experience point of view, but it is not true. The objective world, you can't apply this argument. Okay? So, Swamiji says, Paramarthanandaji says, this is a mischief the Shankara is playing. Normally Shankara won't say like this, but Gaudapada and Shankaracharya, 2 or 3 times they say things like this. So we just have to apply our reasoning based on our Tikakaras and say that this is an experiential presentation of this mind and the world. Okay? And that is why this word mithya is critical in Advaita Vedanta, to understand mithya. If mithya is not understood, if the difference between clay and pot is not understood, then we get into all kinds of circles. And from a darshana perspective also, different philosophies come. And on top of that, there is an effort, there is a pressure to translate all these Sanskrit words into English. And guess what some Swamijis do? They will translate mithya as unreal. Or they will translate mithya as non-existent. Something they will do. The minute you translate mithya as non-existent, even we use sometimes in some context mithya as non-existent, but that is only some context. But mithya is not non-existent. Mithya is mithya only. That whose existence depends on something else is called mithya. What a brilliant definition it is. Very simple. Simple definition. But if that is not understood, then you got all kinds of translations. Then we base our study on translations, and then we are bound to get lost. So all these issues will come here. So these things Swamiji cautions us when we discuss all these things. So this jagarite api tata eva. Buddhism will love this. Buddhist people will say Shankara is a Buddhist, just masquerading as an Advaita Vedanti. They will quote all this. Shankara is a Buddhist. Nowhere Shankara says Atma is Shunyaha. So Shankara is not a Buddhist. Anyway, good to know all these things, that's all. So you have to add the word experientially to that sentence. Then everything will be all right. All right. Next.
Guruji, what is
Yes.
Vipratishthanat?
Vipratishthanat. Vispullingavat. Vipratishthanat. Established. Jagarite. Once I wake up, then this world is established, stabilized. Vipratishthanat. Like all the sparks you see. So, sthira bhavaha. Okay, world manifests. You can say that. So, he's giving a reasoning. Anat, because in deep sleep the mind goes down, world goes off, and then because when I wake up, the world comes back up. That's the idea. The reasoning. Pratishthanat, because. Alright. Yasya cha padbhyāṃ jātā prṛthivī
padbhyāṃ jātā pṛthivī
yeṣaḥ
hyeṣa
devah vishnuh
devah vishnuh
anantah
anantah
prathama sharīrī
prathama sharīrī
trailokya dehopadhihi
tailokya dehopadhihi
sarveshāṃ
sarveshāṃ
bhūtānāṃ antarātmā.
bhūtānāṃ antarātmā.
Yeah. Now he is going to the last quarter of this Moola mantra. Watch the Moolam as we study the Bhashyam. So last quarter you will see padbhyāṃ prṛthivī hyeṣa sarvabhūtāntarātmā. So sarvabhūtāntarātmā. So here is sarveshāṃ bhūtānāṃ antarātmā. And then your notebook, does it say sarvabhūtāntarātmā? Yeah, it doesn't say that. See, sarveshāṃ bhūtānāṃ antarātmā. Correct? That's what your book says. Within brackets, see, the moolam is bhūtāntarātmā. Look at the moolam, bhūtāntarātmā. So what you should do is, after sarveshāṃ bhūtānāṃ antarātmā, you should put within brackets sarvabhūtāntarātmā. That word from the moolam you should put. Okay? That way we can make a one-to-one correspond. That moolam word is not there in the Bhashyam. That's why we are just putting it in brackets. Alright. Yasya cha padbhyāṃ jata prṛthivī. See, so far he said, so agnirmūrdhā, vāyuḥ, prāṇah. Prāṇa of Virat is vāyuḥ. Like that you could say. Now padbhyāṃ prṛthivī. Prṛthivī. The padau, if he had said bhūf padau, yasya nabhihi. So bhūf padau, that is what it is. But he didn't say padau, he says padbhyāṃ. Upanishad says padbhyāṃ. So padbhyāṃ means from the 2 feet. That is the literal meaning of the word padbhyāṃ. Not 2 feet, from the 2 feet. Padau means over. The 2 feet of Virat is... so, from the 2 feet, that's why he says padbhyāṃ jata, he says. Jata means what? Born. Prṛthivī. Prṛthivī. The Virat is one from whose 2 feet the earth is born. Like that, Shankara is saying. Shankara is saying. Maniprabha says padbhyāṃ is equal to padau. Maniprabha interprets it differently. Padau. Yasya padau prṛthivī. Just take it like that. Upanishad can say all these things, but we have to interpret it properly and consistently. And so, padau. Maniprabha says padau. And here, but Shankara is saying, not saying that. Padbhyāṃ jata, he says. From the 2 feet of Virat came the earth. That's a connection between earth and feet of Virat. Okay. And so how do you understand that? Well, you have to say, this padau is the karanam. Jata, no? Padau is the karanam. For earth, karyam. Okay. So, karanam is there, karyam is there. But karanam pervades the karyam. We know that. Karanam pervades the karyam. And so, there is no separation between karyam and karanam. And therefore, you should conclude, I can appreciate that the 2 feet are the 2 feet of Virat is earth. Like that, you should draw the conclusion. Okay. Yasya cha padbhyāṃ jata prṛthivī. Just like the pot came from clay, but the pot is not separate from clay. And therefore, you can say, for the sake of this discussion, the pot is clay. Okay. Alright. Yeshaha devaha Vishnuhu. So now Yeshaha has come. So until now, asya, Shankaracharya said, change the asya to yasya, one whose head is Swargaha, one whose, like that, we went on doing yasya, the one whose. That person is come, Yeshaha. Yeshaha means that this person, that person. And who is that person now? Virat is being explained. Devaha Vishnuhu. Virat is effulgent, shining. Devaha. Okay. Anybody who is shining, self-effulgent, self-shining is called a Devaha. So Devaha and Vishnuhu, Shankaracharya. I think he has Vishnu Sahasranama in mind, no doubt about that. Vishnu Isham Namami. Correct? In that Dhyana Shloka. Same Vishnu Isham Namami. So he says Vishnu. And you have to scratch your head now a little bit. Because in Puranas, Vishnu's Nabi, Hiranyagarbha, and now you are going to Virat. You are moving further and further away from Vishnu. Now you are referring back to Vishnu. It's very confusing. Shankara is saying, don't worry. It's not that kind. Vishnu, don't take the literal Purana meaning and all. What is the meaning of Vishnu? Sarvam veveshti iti Vishnuhu. Veveshti. That which pervades everything is Vishnuhu. That is the meaning of Vishnu. That's why Vishnu is also called Vishnu. Mr. Vishnu is called Vishnu, that's why. And so, veveshti. Veveshti means all pervading, just pervading. And Virat also is all pervasive. Virat is not ordinary. Grass, but all pervasive. Entire universe pervades. Therefore, that is indicated by Vishnu. not limited by space ityarthaha. Okay, Devaha, Vishnuhu, and Anantaha. Alright, Anantaha. And then Prathama Shariri. Anantaha, because all pervasive. And then Prathama Shariri. Prathama Shariri. So, Prathama Shariri. Shariram here refers to gross body. Gross body. Like our body, gross body. This body is there. Okay, gross body. And so, Prathama Sthula Shariri. You should put it within brackets. Prathama Sthula Shariri. Otherwise, there is another Prathama Shariri. That guy is called Hiranyagarbha, who is the father of this Virat. Okay. And so, that guy is Prathama Sukshma Shariri. This one is Prathama Sthula Shariri. Okay. Firstborn gross body. Or the firstborn with a gross body. Something like that you have to say. So, physically embodied person, entity, is called Prathama Shariri. Alright. Further, Trailokya Dehopadhihi. Alright. How many worlds are there? Big universe, you said. Okay, you can consider the universe as considering of 3 lokas in general. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. That is a short form for the 14 lokas. 14 up, 7 up, 7 down. So, that is one detailed way of looking at it. But a more compressed way of looking at it, abbreviated way of looking at it, is called Trailokya. Triloka Sanchari and all we say for Narada, So, like that, Trailokya Upadhi means what? Whose Upadhi? That Devaha, that Virat, whose Upadhi means whose form. Upadhi is all the 3 lokas. The one whose Upadhi is 3 lokas. Trailokya Upadhihi. Sarvesham Bhutanam Antaratma. Within brackets, sarvabhūtāntarātmā. That's also straightforward to follow. Sarvabhūtāntarātmā. Sarvesham Bhutanam Antaratma. Sarvesham Bhutanam. All beings and all things in this universe. Okay, Jagataha ityartaha. Sarvesham Bhutanam. And then Antaratma. The essence, the reality, the truth of the entire universe. Ityartaha. The reality of the entire universe. Antaratma. Atma here refers to the innermost reality, the inner reality. Very difficult to translate all this. The reality. Antaratma of this pot is clay. That's all it is. So, Sarvesham Bhutanam Antaratma. How can Virat be the Sarvesham Bhutanam Antaratma? Virat is the universe. It's a big entity. And it is the essence of all small entities also. Yeah, that is how it is. That is how it is. That's the beauty of the reality of the creation. The more and more you get into the essence of things, what will happen? It will become, it will become like this. Suppose I say triangle. Triangle is composed of 3 straight lines, suppose I say. Okay, that is acceptable. Triangle is composed of 3 straight lines. Alright. What is the line composed of? Alright. This is a very strange question because my teacher did not teach me all this. So, line composed of what? Okay, is it a point? Is it a point? If you say, alright, point also. Okay, a point with a little dimension. The point that you put with a pencil on the paper. That point is the constituent of the line. Because that point, if you keep on putting a lot of points next to each other like this, then you get a straight line.
Composed of many dots, can we say?
Yeah, so something like many dots. That point, dot, whatever, point. Okay. Like in our Rangoli we do. Rangoli is all dots only. Finally, it's all dot, rice flour. This rice flour means if you take the rice flour from your kitchen and come, it won't work. You need a slightly special type of, slightly coarser rice flour you need. So that particle, okay, with the dimensioned particle. You put dimensioned particle. Then that is the constituent of this line. Then what is the constituent of that particle? That point, the dot. Because the dot has a dimension. If it does not have a dimension, then you are finished. Because you can't have a line. Because small, minute, small things I see and it adds up to a line. It looks like a line to me. Alright. Fine. What about that point then? I want to talk about that point, the dot. The more you go inside the dot, you know what will happen? The constituent of that dimensioned dot will become the dimensionless entity. Dimensionless, if you say, all-pervasive. All-pervasive. Finished. So the all-pervasive Brahman is the essence of the small dot. That is what it is. That is what he is saying. Sarvabhūtāntarātmā. The universe and all we said. Samastam Jagat and all Virat we said. And that guy, Samashti is the essence of Vyashti. Underline this statement and think about it. Samashti is the essence of the Vyashti. You think big, all big should be composed of all smalls. We are all part of the world. That is also true. We are all part of the world, all right. But when you start getting into the essence, then that essence is a part of us, is what is sustaining us. The whole is sustaining the Vyashti. The whole is sustaining the part. Grand it is. It's grand. So that is why he says, Sarvesham Bhutanam Antaratma Sarvabhūtāntarātmā. Okay. So, this book. Alright. Bhashyam, one more line is there. In the Gita Press, this one more line is coming as part of the sambandha to the next mantra. So that is wrong. So the next line should be the last line of the current Bhashyam. Okay. Let's chant that. Sahi sarvabhūteshu drashta śrota manta vijñāta sarvakaranātma here it says karana, yeah.
ரெண்டுலயுமே காரணாதான் இருக்கு.
Yeah, karana. Yeah. So some tikakaras take it as karanatma, and in this case, because of the way the examples are given, karanatma is better. Karanatma also same. Mind is the karanam of jagat. So karanatma also we can explain. Karanatma. Let's take it this time as karanatma. Okay. Don't scratch off karanatma. Say karanatma is an alternate reading. Okay, good. So let's look at that. Sahi sarvabhūteshu drashta. Sahi, saha hi. So when this visarga of saha is followed by any other word, the visarga gets dropped. So saha hi. That Virat Purusha he, indeed that Virat Purusha is now manifest, since he is the essence of everything. So sarvabhūteshu, in all beings, living beings, drashta appears as the drashta, the seer. So drashta means darshana karta, one who does the operation of seeing. Okay. Śrota, hearing. Okay. Hearer, not hearing, hearer. Okay. Sahasrashīrsha Purushaha. Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vrutva. Purusha Sukta. So there, all the heads are Ishvara's heads only. Sahasraksha, Sahasraksha, 1,000 eyes, thousands. Okay. Sahasrapat, thousands of feet, like that. That Purusha is being explained there. So, here also, sarvabhūteshu drashta śrota, hearer, manta. Hearer means what? That Virat is what makes the hearing possible, makes the seeing possible. Manta, thinker, makes the thinking possible. Okay. Panta, Vijñāta, knower. Knower means the employer of the buddhi. Or you can say is the entity. Virat is the one behind the mind, behind the intellect, behind the eyes, ears, etc. Sarva Karana Atma. Sarva Karana Atma. So now, because all these are karanas, instruments, this ears, eyes, etc. Okay, śrotram, cakṣuṣī, manas, buddhihi, these are all instruments. So, sarva karanatma, it is the essence, or if you say karana, cause also is fine, cause behind every jnanendriyam. The way the jnanendriyam works the way it should is because of Virat. Like that he says here. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Tishtantam parameshwaram. Vinashyatsva vinashyantam. Yaf pashyati sa pashyati. Okay, that is mantra 631. 6th chapter, 31. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. So here that samam is Virat Purusha here. Okay, there Brahma, here Virat Purusha. Parameshwaram he said. Tishtantam Parameshwaram in Bhagavad Gita. Alright, so here Virat is described in this manner. Why? Wait a minute, if Brahma is described in Bhagavad Gita, Virat is described here, same thing. These are all not same entities. How can they have the same functions? That means what? Hiranyagarbha is not separate from Brahma. Virat is not separate from Brahma. Okay? Finally, Brahma is the essence of me also. And so, it is perfectly alright to say Virat is the essence of every Vyashti Jivaha. It's perfectly fine. So therefore, what happened? So from Paramatma, Ishvaraha or Nirgunam Brahma came Sagunam Brahma, which is Hiranyagarbha, which is the Samashti Sukshma Sharira Bhimani or Maya Upadhi Brahma or Sopadika Brahma. Then comes Virat. And Virat is what? Is the son of Hiranyagarbha, but also the child of Paramatma. Why? Because Paramatma is there everywhere, all through. Earlier we saw in the previous introduction. And so, this Virat is there here. And Virat is not separate from Brahma. That is the key message from here. Not separate. Because later on, now is sarvabhūteshu antarātmā also. He has come all the way down. Okay? And then tasmat agni samidha, etc. So next mantra he is going to talk about how the jiva has come about. We'll see that. And so that is the tatparyam of this mantra. So Virat Rupa, Virat Srishtihi, Virat. So slowly from this one, from subtle to gross, this mantra is talked about, and key message being the gross being non-separate from Paramatma, from Brahma, from Ishvara. Alright. let's look at the Anvaya. Asya, within brackets, yasya. Asya, yasya. Okay. Okay, asya, yasya, mūrdhā, agnihi. Now pretty much everything moolam. Mūrdhā, agnihi. Agnihi, then within brackets, dyulokaha. Shankara says, dyulokaha. Yeah. cakṣuṣī candrasūryau. cakṣuṣī candrasūryau. śrotre diśaḥ. Same thing. Continuously it goes. śrotre diśaḥ. And then vāgvivṛtāśca vedāḥ. Cha, skip the cha. vāgvivṛtāḥ vedāḥ. We'll bring the cha later. prāṇah vāyuḥ. So I'm just looking at the moolam. You can just look at the moolam and write these things down. prāṇah vāyuḥ. hṛdayaṃ viśvam. hṛdayaṃ viśvam. Then padbhyāṃ prṛthivī. padbhyāṃ prṛthivī, within brackets, jātā. padbhyāṃ prṛthivī jātā. Cha, now you put the cha here, because now that series is concluding. The one whose. So one whose concludes, jātā, cha, comma, then hyeṣa. Now we have to put some words here, because hyeṣa, this, so far noun has not come. So Vishnuhu, you can use any of the words Shankara has given, devaha, etc. So I put Vishnuhu, hyeṣa, Vishnuhu, and Virat. The word Virat does not come anywhere in this mantra. And so you have to put the word Virat here. In fact, in Shankara's Bhaashyam also, I don't see Virat anywhere. It's a clue, because he's talking about the body and all that. So it has to be Virat Purusha. So, hyeṣa Vishnuhu Virat hi sarvabhūtāntarātmā. Hi sarvabhūtāntarātmā bhavati. Got that? Yeshaha Vishnuhu Virat hi sarvabhūtāntarātmā bhavati. So let's look at the whole thing. Asya yasya mūrdhā agnihi dyulokaha, comma, cakṣuṣī candrasūryau, śrotre diśaḥ, vāgvivṛtāḥ vedāḥ, prāṇah vāyuḥ, hṛdayaṃ viśvam, comma, padbhyāṃ prṛthivī jātā ca, comma, hyeṣa Vishnuhu Virat hi sarvabhūtāntarātmā bhavati. Okay? Next mantra. Sambandha Bhaashyam. Panchagni-dvara.
Panchagni-dvara.
So in Gita Press you have the word Panchagni-dvarena. So both are identical. We are going to say Panchagni-dvara. Panchagni-dvara cha.
Panchagni-dvara cha.
Yaha samsaranti.
Yaha samsaranti.
Prajaha.
Yaha.
Taha api.
Taha abhi.
Tasmat eva.
Krishma deva.
Purushat.
Purushat.
Prajayante iti.
Jayante yadi.
Uchyate.
Uchyate.
Yeah. Iti uchyate. That is being said. Okay. So Shankara is telling what is being said in the next mantra. Okay. So Prajaha. So what words you want to underline? Prajaha. Taha prajaha api. Taha prajaha api tasmadeva purushat prajayanti. The prajaha, now he is talking about prajaha. Now this is something we can begin to identify. Prajaha means what? All living beings or all people, manushyaha, either way is fine. Prajaha tasmadeva purushat. Prajaha come from their parents. Okay, we were all born from our parents, not from somewhere else. Yeah, that is fine. But the parents are also born from their parents, and they are all coming all the way from Hiranyagarbha, Virat onwards. And so, Tasmat eva Purushat, Brahma is there all through. Tasmat sarvagatam Brahma, Nityam Yagnye Pratishtitam. Where did it come? Sahayajñāh praja srištva purovacha prajapatihi. Okay, that is one thing. But annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajñād bhavati parjanyah yajñah brahma samudbhavam karma brahmodbhavam viddhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajñe pratishtitam. It's actually very important mantra there in the Bhagavad Gita. He is talking about annad bhavanti bhutani. Hey, this people have come from annam, food. Okay. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. From the rains come food. All right. And then what? Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Then what?
Ajnata.
Yajñād bhavati parjanyah. Yajñād bhavati parjanyah. Yajñād. All the things you and I do to protect this environment and people and humanity and the entire earth, that is what gives rains. Yajñād bhavati parjanyah. Yajñah karma samudbhavam. What is, who gave yajña? Well, karma. Collective karma. Yajñah karma samudbhavam. Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. Karma, where did it come from? He is saying brahmodbhavam viddhi. Brahma there means Veda. Vedodbhavam. Okay. Vedodbhavam. Veda is the one talks about karma, akarma and things like that. So our whole idea of karma comes from that. Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. Brahmakshara samudbhavam. Akshara. Now this Veda came from where? From Akshara Purusha. From that Purusha Teva. Okay. Brahmakshara samudbhavam. That Veda has come from Akshara. Tasmat sarvagatam Brahma. Tasmat sarvagatam Brahma. Means what? Veda is all pervasive. If you take Brahma as Veda, or Aksharam Brahma also all pervasive. Okay? There. Back to Bhagavad Gita. So, Sarvagatam Brahma. Tasmadeva Purushat. Here, look at that. Tasmadeva Purusha. Why I went there, I don't know. Praja, I think. Praja or what? Yeah. Correct. Annad Bhavanti Bhutani. That's what. So, here, people, let's say people are born from that same Purusha, Brahma, Ishvara, Paramatma. Okay. That is what is going to be said. Iti uchyante or uchyate. Alright. Now he is introducing something else. Panchagni dvara. Panchagni dvara. Yaha prajaha samsaranti. There is a process called Panchagni. That is how people are born. That's how people are born. Where is this Panchagni talked about? In Chandogya it's talked about. Okay. And Yaha Prajaha Samsaranti. It's talked about. That whole jiva, that birth process is going to be talked about. It's coming here in this next mantra. Okay. It's going to come. So that is called Panchagni. Means that 5 stages of, I don't want to say evolution, 5 stages of transformation before this jiva. The jiva, once the cremation is done, then the jiva travels. Death happens. Jiva travels through what? Through these 5 stages before coming back as another jiva with a body. Jiva is always there, of course, and then before getting another body. That is what he is saying. Panchagni dvarena, the people who are born, they are also from that same Brahma only. That is the statement he is making here. Okay. And that is why Mata cha Parvati Devi, Pita Devo, Maheshwaraha, and then Bandhavascha, Bhakta.
Shivabandhu.
Sadesha Bhavanatrayam.
So therefore he said that, who is my father? My father is Shiva. My mother is Parvati. And therefore, what is my home? Bhavanatrayam. That is my desha. That is my country. Very nice. So we should joyfully recall all that here. And so we need to look at this Panchagni Vidya. Briefly, let's look at it. Okay, we have a couple of minutes. So, it's not difficult at all. These are the stages. I'll tell you the 5 stages, you write it down. Okay. Okay. So the first stage is Swargaha. Every jiva. So after the death happens, then the jiva takes a particular form called Jala Rupa Jivaha. Jala Rupa Jivaha. Something like a water particle. Okay. And so then that jiva goes to Swargaha. This is said in Chandogya-upanishad. Okay. So anyway, jiva, law of conservation of jiva is there, has to be there. So the question is how all these things happen. Who is to know all this? Shastra only can tell us. Okay. So, Swargaha. Then from Swargaha, then it comes to the Meghaha, clouds. Parjanyaha. So Swarga is the first station. So there are 5 stations. Like if you go from Coimbatore to Bangalore, there are 5 stops in this Vande Bharat. I think 5 or 6 are there. 5 I think. So let's say 5. Okay, for the sake of discussion. Okay. 5 stops are there. It's exactly same thing. 5 stops for this jiva before the jiva goes all the way and then comes back to wherever it has to go. Okay. In this case, this human being is talked about. Left as a human being and being born again as a human being. That's how you should imagine this. Okay. So Swargaha, then clouds, Parjanyaha, okay, Meghaha, then next prithivī, earth. Station number 3 is what? Earth. Prithivī. Then station number 4, Purushaha. Don't confuse with other Purushaha. Manushyaha, male. Okay. Puman, Purushaha. That Purusha, male. Then last station is female. Stri. Okay. Striyam. Yoni, the womb. That is the 5th station. That's it. After that, the jiva is born with a body. Okay. That's the idea. This you just keep make a table. I'm going to say a few more details about these stations. So in that table, be ready. The first column is that. And second and third, we will fill up in the next class. Okay? All the jiva has a name for each in each, and what transformation happens, everything we will see in the next class. Okay? Good. This is called Panchagni Vidya. It's a section in Chandogya Upanishad. And I'll tell you, I've written down somewhere where these sections are 5.3 to 5.10 Chandogya Upanishad. Okay. And so Shankara clearly knows all this. He is saying Panchagni Dwara. So just he wants to make sure there is a process that's happening, and that whatever be the process, that process was described, by the way. Let's honor the Chandogya Upanishad. Our rishis have told us what kind of process it is. Let that through the process the jivas have come. But the point for us is the jivas are also tasmat purushadeva prajayante iti uchyate. That is being said in the next mantra. Okay. I hope that introduction is sufficient. Samsaranti. There is the word called samsaranti. Okay. Born. Panchagni dwara, through the Panchagni process, the jivas that are born, even they are born from Brahman only. Like that he is saying. Prajayante. Samsaranti, travel also. Travel. Even though the jivas travel like this all the way and come, and each jiva has a parent, and the parent has a parent and all. Yeah, that is all true. But finally it's all coming from original Brahma, Ishvara, like that he's saying. Good. We'll conclude. We'll resume in the next class. Apadāṃ Dātāram Sarvasampadāṃ Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithivī Sasya Shalini Addeshoyam Kshobarahitaha Sajjanas Santu Nirbhayaha Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om